Good evening, everyone. Wekiva High School welcomes you to Mustang Arena, and we appreciate your patience while we got things underway here and got our officiating crew in place. Please welcome our guests from South Sumter High School. They are the Raiders. And they'll be taking on your Wekiva High School Mustangs. As we are a little bit delayed getting started tonight, we are going to dispense with the formal pregame festivities, but we will quickly introduce our starters as they prepare to take the court. For the Raiders, number 1, Bibi Guevara. Number 5, Talia Mullins. Number 12, Cheyenne Patterson. Number 33, Emily Cohart. And number 35, Lanesia Doherty. For the Mustangs, 5'7" sophomore shooting guard number 0, Jasmine Pooler. 5'8" senior small forward number 3, Tiara Coleman. Senior wing number 21, Zaria Hercule. Sophomore shooting guard number 23, Michaela Bell. And 6' sophomore number 32, Sanaya Asanya. And the officials for tonight's game from the Central Florida Officials Association in Orlando. We thank them for their dedicated service to our high school athletic programs and for jumping in and joining us on short notice when we did not have officials assigned. Thank them for coming out tonight. We join them along with our participating schools, reminding everyone to make great sportsmanship a part of this and every athletic competition. We also want to remind you that we are live streaming tonight's game on YouTube and the NFHS Network. That's youtube.com/Wekiva Sports or NFHSnetwork.com. And a warm welcome to those of you who have done just that. My name is Mark Barnchie, Sports Information Director and the voice of Wekiva. And I am joined tonight for the first time of basketball season 17 by Neil Fisher from the Apopka Chief. Will be taking you through tonight's contest, and we certainly appreciate your patience as we waited for the officiating crew to get assigned. If you were following the schedule when it was originally posted, this was not originally on the schedule. It was a late change addition, and apparently there was a miscommunication at some point between the coach, the athletic director, the Officials Association, and the officials, and so we got that straightened out. And now we are underway about an hour after the original scheduled start time. So welcome to the broadcast, Neil. And Wekiva comes from what was certainly a rebuilding year and now has maybe some opportunity to get some momentum going as they get season 17 started.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Mark. And we are live from Mustang Arena. Once again, just to reiterate what Mark said, thank you for joining us. Wekiva with the first couple of field goal attempts of the game. Neither went in, long range. No dice.
And that's not there for Cheyenne Patterson. Now the outlet pass, fast break opportunity, and there it is. That is Tiara Coleman puts the Mustangs on the board.
2-0 lead for Wekiva. Minute 15 in from Mustang Arena. As Williams gets the rebound. No, she did not. Excuse me. That was Wekiva getting the rebound at the other end. That's Bell, slash and dash.
Michaela Bell for 2.
So Wekiva off to a good start on the glass. First three.
30-second timeout requested by the Raiders.
Wekiva getting 4 of the first 5 rebounds in a 4-0 lead. 6:30, minute and a half into the first game of the 2023-24 season.
Welcome back to live action here at Mustang Arena. Obviously, the Raiders not pleased with the opening minute and a half of action here.
Steal At the other end, coast-to-coast attempt for Bell, unable to get the glass to work her way. Possession will remain with Wekiva, though. Wekiva, the 4-0 lead, first game of the 2023-24 season. Actually a preseason game. So this does not count towards the record.
Yes, as they say on Whose Line Is It Anyway, this is the game where everything's made up and the points don't matter.
Score the tray!
3 for Michaela Bell.
So that was the Michaela Bell parade. And as Mark mentioned, Wekiva in a rebuilding season last year. They won only 2 games, one of which was a forfeit. South Sumter also looking to rebound from a poor season, winning only 3 games themselves. That's their 3rd turnover now, only a minute 12 into this ball game. So Wekiva goes back to work, looking to get the lead up to 9, possibly 10. And a foul.
Actually, I didn't see any signal at the score table. I believe that was just a violation.
Okay. So, and now South Sumter sends their entire second string, as in the meantime, the battle wages on and score the tray, score the deuce. So top of the key, that's Guevara. They rotated South Sumter with possession in those red jerseys with the black trim. And
out of bounds,
turnover.
Mustangs ball.
So 5 turnovers now for South Sumter. Certainly they are looking to get their mojo, find their game. Wekiva taking advantage, a 9-0 lead, 5-12 first quarter, is Tierra Coleman.
Checking into the game for the Raiders, Ashley Penwell, Raven Parker, Jatavia Avant, and Natalie Williams.
And that's my partner, Mark Barchi, who's also the PA announcer, as Hercule gets the ball stripped, and South Sumter still looking for their first points to go to work. As you heard Mark Barchi say, the entire second string coming in on the last stoppage for South Sumter, and they will maintain possession of the ball. Blocked by Coleman. Scramble.
Foul called against Raiders, number 32, Jatavia Avant. That's her first personal foul, the team's first. Mustangs ball at half court.
So Wekiva will inbound the ball. If you joined us a few minutes late, they are in those white jerseys, the traditional home jerseys. The launch, clanks off the rim, give the rebound to number 15.
Pooler was wide open there, but she decides to step in and gets called for traveling. Raiders ball.
Excuse me, who's 15? Ashley, do you have her last name? Pigwell? Pin?
Held ball, possession Mustangs.
Wekiva with the 9-0 lead, 4:17 first quarter, first game of the 2023-24 season, a preseason game nonetheless. Both these teams looking to rebound from a poor season last year. Of course, Wekiva see some familiar names here, something we did not see last year, as the whistle, while Bell trying to attack that baseline. So
Foul
far,
called against Natalie Williams, her first team second.
driving through that lane, the slash and dash. 24 Wang and score the points.
Chi-Chi Wang to Tierra Coleman and one. Foul is called against Raiders, number 21, Raven Parker. That's her first personal foul, the team's third. Coleman shooting one.
Beautiful give-and-go play executed by Wekiva. And the 11-0 lead just under 4 minutes in the first quarter. As you heard my broadcasting partner, MPA announcer, Mark Barchi, say, weighing number 24, who came into the game at the last stoppage, working with Tiara Coleman, number 3. She is one of the familiar faces, one of the returners, along with Jasmine Pooler and Zariah Hercule at the other end. The whistle, a travel. Bell unable to get that second step down before the dribble. The dribble before the second step. And now South Sumter making wholesale changes as well. Seen this a couple of times now in the first quarter. As they bring the ball up, we are live from Mustang Arena. Thank you for joining us on this Monday night. Coleman harassing Guevara. And now she does get the ball. That's Coleman actually picking it up. The quick pass. Nobody home except for Caldwell, the South Sumter player. Quick outlet to the other end. Trying to use the bank. No dice. Strong rebound. Windex work for Wekiva. The long outlet to Coleman. And makes the withdrawal from the bank. So some quick up and down action. Wekiva getting the better of that. 14-0 lead now. Contact back out to Guevara. She launches short, grabbing that loose ball off the board is Bell, and she drops in the
layup for Michaela Bell.
So Wekiva continues to flex its muscles on the boards. A total of 10 now. A little past the halfway point of the first quarter. 16-0 lead. 2:35 first quarter. First game of the season. The tip from Coleman. She keeps getting in the way. Keep calling her name out. At the other end, high board, no angle.
Rebound. Strong rebound. Asanya. Now in transition, a little too much heat on the layup from Pooler, but that's Tiara Coleman on the putback.
As you like to say, Mark, second chance points. So Wekiva continues to slam the boards, hitting them hard now. That's 11 boards for Wekiva in total. And a whistle at the other end with 2:03 remaining. 18-0 lead for Wekiva.
Number 3, Tiara Coleman is called on her first personal foul. The team's first at the line, shooting 2, Bibi Guevara.
So at the line, chance for the first points. That's Guevara. She's unable to get the first one to drop. Clinks off the heel. Still 18-0 lead for Wekiva. As the cheerleaders at the other end.
And now the Raiders on the board with Bibi Guevara going 1 for 2 at the line. Under 2 minutes to play here in the first. Pooler, nothing there. Chi-Chi Wang can't get the putback either, and now a battle under the basket. Raiders to the key. And then a tussle between Guevara and Bell. Looks like Bell is going to get called. Number 23, Michaela Bell, is called on the hit. That's her first personal foul, the team's second. Back to the free throw line for 2, number 1, Bibi Guevara.
So thank you for joining us on this Monday night, first game of the season. Game does not count in the records. It's an exhibition game. But nonetheless, both these teams looking to rebound from poor seasons last year, and this certainly will go a long way towards that. Life is much easier when you get that first win out of the way. Guevara at the line, 3 dribbles. Cheerleaders pounding the stands, and it seemed to have worked there as it's short. Clinks off the rim. Bell, strong rebound as Wekiva continues to do its Windex work. And they will also draw the foul.
Foul is called against Raiders number 1, Talia Mullins. That's her first personal foul, the team's 5th. New rule this year. You may be accustomed to 1-and-1 bonus occurring on the 7th foul in the half. It is now the 5th foul in the quarter, so we will be shooting 1-and-1, and that is Michaela Bell.
And so Bell at the line. First free throw of the game in the season for Wekiva goes awry. clinks off that left side of the rim. 1:33 first quarter. We are live from Mustang Arena, home of the Wekiva Mustangs. Getting inside. That was Blackwood. She was unable to hold it. Give South Sumter credit for battling and getting up with that rebound, but then they quickly turn it over. Saw an errant pass. So now that's Pooler, one of the returners. Top of the key, gives it off. Couple more passes. And now a whistle and a turnover.
No, it's actually timeout. 30-second timeout requested by Wekiva.
So, excuse me. As you heard my partner, Mark Barchi, say, it's actually a timeout. 18-1 lead for Wekiva. 1:13 remaining. You are listening to the Wekiva Mustangs Athletic Network.
Well, I have to for the individual stats, but I can make it so that it treats it like 10 before, that it just stops putting it on the board. I just got to get into the settings and change it.
And welcome back to Mustang Arena on a Monday night, first game of the season. Wekiva already out to an 18-1 lead. Important game for both these teams, even though it's preseason, coming off bad seasons, poor seasons last year. That was Blackwood with the shot, too long. Contact at midcourt. Bell picking up the loose ball. The scoop, Dr. J style, and she draws the foul as we drop under a minute in the first quarter.
Foul called against number 5, Williams. That's her second personal foul. The Mustangs, that was a shooting foul, but it would have been bonus anyway. At the line shooting will be number 23, Michaela Bell.
So South Sumter now with 7 turnovers in the first quarter as Bell steps up, buries that first free throw. First free throw converted of the season in the game for Wekiva. Bell now with 7 points. Look to see if she can make it 8. And a 19-1 lead. Make that 20-1 as Bell goes 2-2 from the free throw line. And I'm sure that's going to give Coach Middleton something to feel good about. A poor free throw shooting team last season among a lot of poor things they did poorly. So certainly feeling a lot better now. 3 of 4 from the line. As Guevara continues to be hounded by Coleman, one of the returners. Along that baseline, some pushing, some contact. Good defense, cutting off that lane, and Wayne ripping down the rebound. 25 seconds, 20-1 lead for Wekiva. Coleman, top of the key. Over to Blackwood. One-on-one with Guevara. Back to Coleman now. Wekiva, a much more deliberate pace than what we're accustomed to, as maybe they don't need to be in a hurry now. Nice passing along that line. The drive, the scoop. No dice. Rolls off. Rebound. That's Mullins grabbing the rebound, and with 1.8 seconds left, a whistle.
Yeah, Hercule slapped it out of bounds, so it'll stay with the Raiders. And they'll have 1.8 seconds to figure out how to get it to the other end of the court.
Long pass. Intercepted. Wayne getting her hands on that. That brings us to the end
should have
of
been
the
called for
first
traveling
quarter.
there. That's okay.
So, again, that quarter closed out. Wekiva unable to get the transition basket, the transition deuce, but certainly if you're Coach Middleton, the staff, you got to feel good about the way they moved that ball around, and they got a very good high percentage shot driving underneath the basket. So
that takes us to the end of the first quarter. 20-1 is the score at the end of the opening 8 minutes. Welcome back to Mustang Arena. Mark Barchi here with Neil Fisher, taking you through tonight's preseason classic, the very first basketball game of season 17, or technically not even season 17 yet. Again, a reminder that a rule change that has gone into effect this season. The penalty is now actually very similar to the NBA. They've changed that rule. It used to be you got 1-and-1 free throws starting with the 7th foul in the half and 2-shot bonus on the 10th foul in the half. Now it is per quarter, not per half. So you see that all of the fouls have been blanked. We're starting over again with the second quarter, and you now get 2-shot bonus on the 5th personal foul, the 5th team foul, I should say. 3 for Talia Mullins. First field goal of the game for the Raiders.
Yeah, 20-1 lead at the beginning of the quarter, now 20-4. As Wekiva certainly has sprinted out, taking control of this game, flexing their muscles. The Mustangs that are the stop, pop, no drop.
Second chance opportunity, and Mustangs will think better of it there.
Wekiva continues to blister the boards as Hukiel finds the range.
Kiera Coleman for 3.
So 2 key stats for Wekiva as they now have the 23-4 lead. And underneath Guevara trying to force the issue. Can't get the ball to drop. Doing Windex work was Coleman, unable to hold it. And so South Sumter rotates it back out to the top and score the tray for Mullins.
3 for Mullins.
So
timeout, Mustang.
Timeout for Wekiva. Again, your first most important stats in that first quarter. Wekiva with a 10-5 advantage in rebounds. Actually, 14-6 in rebounds. And then, of course, South Sumter committing 9 turnovers compared to 3 for Wekiva. 23-7 lead. South Sumter cutting a little bit into that lead, but still the 16-point lead for Wekiva. This is the Mustangs Athletic Network. .6:29 remaining in the second quarter. Mustang Arena, the site home of the Wekiva Mustangs, who currently enjoy a 23-7 lead. Scoring the first 18 points of the game in this preseason classic. That's Kiera Coleman over to Pooler. Back to Coleman. Over to Pooler. The two-man game. Open shot. Slides off the rim. Give the rebound to Mullins. As we have 6:10 remaining. Fast break for South Sumter. A little too much heat and speed for the Raiders. So, of course, mentioned last year, both these teams in rebuilding mode. Wekiva winning only 2 games. South Sumter winning 3. So certainly a win tonight would be a change of fortune, and certainly life is much easier when you get that first win. As too much heat. South Sumter comes back the other way. Another fast break opportunity. And they turn the ball over. Good defense. Wekiva, as we mentioned, forcing 9 turnovers in that first quarter. Of course, now they themselves do the turnover dance. Long range. Clanks off that rim. That was Pitts, and Wekiva will go back to work looking to re-up that lead underneath. Some muscle underneath and dropping in the deuce.
Langer 2.
Auguste scoring that deuce. And at the other end, Pitts trying to navigate through that baseline. But possession will remain with South Sumter. Patterson will inbound the ball. Bounce pass inside to Coward, unable to keep control. Coleman comes up with that loose ball. The long outlet to Pooler, one-on-one. Throws it up, no foul. Good defense from South Sumter. And now they're having trouble clearing it. And yet another turnover for South Sumter, up to 5 now in this quarter. Back the other way we go. Just under 5 minutes. Stop and go.
Sanaya Sanya, back-to-back baskets for the Mustangs.
And that ups the lead to 27-7, back tying the largest of the game at 20 points for Wekiva. Wekiva continues to pound that boards. Talked about them in total, but a good job offensively as well. And they'll pick up that loose ball. Hercule,
nice
way,
transition
Coleman.
pass, and there it is. Hercule on the pass to Tierra Coleman, 4-2.
So another transition basket. Strong rebound. Wekiva now with the 22-point lead. Back to the top of the key. Patterson, one-on-one with Coleman. Picks up the pick. Down on that right corner. Sanya on defense.
Backcourt violation. Mustangs ball.
.355 remaining before halftime. 29-7 lead for Wekiva. This is Mustang Arena. Thank you for joining us on this Monday night. Thank you for being patient as well. Game did start approximately an hour later than originally scheduled due to some confusion over the referee scheduling the referees. As another turnover from South Sumter, another opportunity for Wekiva to further increase that lead. About 100 fans in attendance. Right underneath the mural on the far wall from us. Of course, the 3 Mustangs breaking through the wall with the Mustang territory words. That's
Michaela Anderson gets her own putback for 2.
4th offensive rebound of the quarter for Wekiva. They've scored 8 points off of those 4 offensive rebounds. 3:15 before halftime. 31-7 lead. Guevara continuing to drive, now gives up the ball, though partially by circumstances, through the lane. That's Pigwell. She loses it as she runs into a horde of Mustangs. The long outlet, now back out to Sanya.
Wide open in the corner. Here comes Anderson, too hot on the 3. And then Bell is not able to reel in the rebound.
So now down to 2:50. And a chance for South Sumter to cut into the lead. 18-0 lead. That's how we opened up. Wekiva flexing its muscle. Certainly a much different start than last season. Tipped. And possession will remain with South Sumter. So looking at Wekiva's schedule, this is a regular season schedule. They will open with Lake Ware on November 20th. So 1 week from tonight. And then they take on Hope Academy on the 27th, Tavares on the 28th. All those games at South Sumter High School. As the ball goes out of bounds. And Wekiva with possession. Pooler bringing the ball up. Deliberate pace, taking her time. Over to Anderson. Back to Pooler, the 2-man game. Now they get Sanya involved on the right wing. They go down low on the cut. Back out to Sanya. Looks for the shot. Good defense from South Sumter. Collapsing. Wang.
Chi Wang from the key for 2.
So Wekiva continues to put the ball in the basket at a steady pace. Now a 26-point lead. Off the heel. Bad pass. Patterson unable to control. Sanya over to Bell. Can't find the range. Crashed the boards. Out of bounds. South Sumter possession. 1:33 before halftime. I'm Neil Fisher. The other voice here is Mark Barchi. He's also the public address announcer here at Wekiva High School on the southeast side of Apopka. Slammed. Deflection. Picked up. And the charge to the basket by Pooler. And we do get a foul. And Pooler a bit slow getting up. She looks none the worse for wear now. Actually, our first foul of this quarter.
Fouls called against Raiders. Number 1, Baby Guevara. That's her second personal foul, the team's first of the period. At the line, shooting 2 for the Mustangs, number 0, Jasmine Pooler. So again, this was a shooting foul anyway, so it wouldn't matter. But again, there is no more 1-on-1. There is only 2 shots at this point. If it's a shooting foul, it always goes to the line. If it's not a shooting foul, or what we call an on-the-floor foul, then it goes to the line starting with the 5th foul of each quarter rather than each half. So Pooler here goes 1 for 2, missing the first and making the second.
Again, Wekiva 7 of 10 from the free throw line. And that's certainly got to give Coach Middleton some optimism. And there's the turnover. Pooler snatching the ball at the other end, makes the withdrawal.
Jasmine Pooler steals the Mustang layup.
And with 1:05, a timeout as Wekiva extends the lead to 29 points.
Full timeout requested by the Raiders. Back with more from Mustang Arena in a moment.
Mustang Arena, the site on this Monday night, in the home team Wekiva, a 36-7 lead as we open up the 2023-24 season. 18 straight points to start the game, and South Sumter's bugaboo continues to turnover. Wekiva returns the favor. Another turnover. 3 turnovers in 1 possession. There one trip down the field. Wekiva unable to find the range, and at the other end, score the deuce for South Sumter.
Raiders basket by number 21, Raven Parker.
So a 36-11 score as we drop under 30 seconds before halftime. The scoop through the lane.
Michaela Bell.
Made that look easy. 10 seconds remaining. Can South Sumter get some point, get some momentum heading into the second half? The long-range tray. Yes!
3 for number 5, and that takes us to halftime. Well, action at the end of the second period makes it a 38-12 game for the Mustangs here at the end of the second quarter.
So we'll be back with your second half. 38-12 the lead. Wekiva in the lead. First game of the 2023-24 season. This is the Wekiva Mustangs Athletic Network. And welcome back to Mustang Arena on this Monday night in mid-November. Thank you for joining us. The home team, the Wekiva Mustangs, showing a 38-12 lead in this preseason game. First of the 2023-24 season. First 18 points scored by Wekiva.
The Mustangs have the opening possession of the third quarter.
And if you joined us late, statistics, which it usually is when you get that big a lead, the ones that stuck out were rebounding and turnovers, a 3-1 advantage for Wekiva in both.
Held ball, possession Raiders.
And so there's some good news for South Sumter. They now have possession in the red jerseys. Wekiva, again, the home team in the white jerseys. Nothing doing on that long-range free throw attempt. Wekiva with the rebound. At the other end, Bell puts
transition basket from Coleman to Michaela Bell, opening up second half scoring.
So lead now up to 28 as we're just in the second quarter. And a whistle. South Sumter going back to work, looking to cut into that 28-point lead, get an answer from Wekiva opening this quarter. Leading scorers, Tiara Coleman with 14 and Bell with 11. Michaela Bell. Now, of course, that was at halftime. It's now 13 for Bell as Wekiva continues to force those turnovers. At the other end, that's Coleman, launches and drains the rain.
Sanya to Coleman, 3!
So Wekiva off to as good a start as a team could hope for in the second half.
17 points for Tiara Coleman now.
2 of 2 from the field, a three-pointer and a two-pointer, and a couple of turnovers as well to set up those field goals. And speaking of turnovers, Bell, long-range pass, saved by Hercule, but she probably would have been better off letting it go out of bounds.
Yeah, there's nobody there to help her out.
Give her credit for the effort, but unfortunately effort doesn't always translate into tangible results. 6 minutes exactly. Third quarter.
Foul called against Jasmine Pooler, her first, team's first of the period.
43-12 lead for Wekiva. They've led throughout, starting the game with an 18-point lead. Long range, no dice for Mullins. And ripping the rebound down is Sanya. At the other end, just short, slides off the rim, battle, and Guevara wins this one. One of the few times South Sumter's come down with the rebound. Again, as the ball goes out of bounds, and it will remain with South Sumter. 3-1 advantage in rebounding for Wekiva. 24-8 to be exact at halftime, or at least that's our estimate. Please remember.
Checking into the game for the Raiders, Serenity Caldwell, Kaylee Pitts, and Jatavia Avant.
So please remember, we are at the high school level. We do not have statisticians. So we do the best we can to keep up, but we might have missed a couple of rebounds, a couple of those other stats.
And technically the stats don't count from this game anyway.
Yeah. But I can tell you, watching this game, it is roughly 3-1 advantage in rebounds as well as turnovers for Wekiva. And at least a 70% conversion rate on those turnovers and rebounds.
Michaela Bell shoves the ball out of bounds there. It stays under Raiders' control. And now Tiara Coleman has an opportunity for a fast break if she can stay ahead of the layup. She does! Tiara Coleman and one!
So
foul called against number 4, Serenity Caldwell. It's her first, the team's first of this half. Basket is good by Coleman, shooting one.
So Wekiva continues to find the range. They're 3 of 3 so far on field goals in this third quarter. Now a 33-point lead, 5:16 remaining. And
lane violation against the Raiders. One more shot.
So Coleman doing a beautiful job on that attack to the basket, turning the back to it, using her backside as a shield. Great angle. Now a 34-point lead as Coleman takes advantage of the second opportunity, completes the three-point, the old school three-point play. 5:10 remaining. South Sumter going back to work as Pigwell one-on-one under pressure from Pooler. Ball goes out of bounds. Will remain with South Sumter. Pooler giving trouble on that inbound. South Sumter does get it in. The long range from Caldwell. It's short. Sky ripping the rebound down is Bell. She's looking to score coast to coast. No! Can't get the ball to drop, but doing the Windex work, number 21, Hercule.
Zaria Hercule adds 2 for the Mustangs.
And now we are in a running clock situation. If you are new to high school basketball in Florida, it's 35-point margin in the second half. As another
Sierra Coleman on the transition layup. And we will pause for a timeout, which is, of course, the one exception to the running clock rule. 30-second timeout requested by the Raiders.
So Sonia rips down the rebound. 4 offensive rebounds in this quarter for Wekiva. And at the other end, Coleman makes the withdrawal, 50-12, 4:25, third quarter. Mustang Arena, the site of this game. Thank you for joining us on this Monday night, first game of the 2023-24 basketball season. The home team, Wekiva, flexing its muscles. Certainly a much different start than last year. 18 straight points to start the game, now a 50-12 lead. South Sumter, the opponent, with possession. And they go back to work. Off the glass, battle underneath. Nice rebound. Second tray, no dice. And running that loose ball down was Wang, who certainly has made her presence felt after entering the game midway through the first quarter. Meanwhile, at the other end, score another deuce for Wekiva.
Sierra Coleman.
So Coleman now over 20, 22 to be exact. At the other end, sliding off that rim, no dice. Asanya to Coleman, and a whistle, 3.5 remaining.
Double dribble.
Basket,
Raiders ball.
Basket does not count. That's actually a turnover. First turnover of the quarter for Wekiva. And if you did join us a little bit after we started that second half, turnovers along with rebounds have been the difference. A 3-1 advantage in that first half for Wekiva in both. And about 70% conversion rate. There's another turnover. Give this one credit to Pooler. Finds Asanya. No basket. Traveling. And I looked over to our referee. Coach Middleton was standing right next to him. And he kind of grinned at Coach Middleton's request, trying to explain that that wasn't traveling. Here's another turnover. And the drive to the basket. Nice job by South Sumter to prevent the basket. That was Coleman. I believe that was her third turnover that she's caused in about 5 possessions now as we approach 2 minutes in the third quarter. 52-12 lead, and Coleman finishes it off with the deuce.
Sierra Coleman, 26 points for her tonight.
That's the returning starter. Of course, we mentioned, if you joined us late, both these teams certainly looking to rebound from rebuilding and poor performances last season. Wekiva with only 2 wins, South Sumter with 3. The big difference for Wekiva is they do have 4 familiar names in that starting lineup. Pooler, Coleman, Hercule have all seen significant time in their past Bell, a familiar name, unable to play last year due to injury for most of the season. And certainly they have shown their wares tonight. Underneath, that was Wang, who got hammered on the way up. Minute and a half, third quarter remaining.
Chi Wang fouled on the attempt. She'll go to the line and shoot two. The foul is called against Natalie Williams, her second, the team's second of the period.
About 100 fans in attendance. And the cheerleaders to our right, they're on the other side of the court. They certainly made their presence felt tonight. Of course, much more stiffer competition for Wekiva as we move into the season, but nonetheless, getting that first win and your first opportunity, not only a much different story for Wekiva than last season, as Asanya doing Windex work, hands it off to Bell, but also makes life a lot easier, take that pressure off.
Michaela Bell is fouled on the attempt. She'll go to the line and shoot two. The foul is called once again against Natalie Williams, her third, the team's third of the period.
So again, takes a lot of pressure off when you get that first win. And obviously Wekiva well on the way. And 2 of 2 from the line as the third quarter comes to an end. And now Wekiva with the 56-12 lead. One more quarter
that takes
to go.
us to the end of the third period. 8 minutes left to play here at Mustang Arena in the Preseason Classic.
And welcome back to Mustang Arena. The home team, Wekiva, flexing its muscles in the opening game of the 2023-24 season. A 56-12 lead has been all Wekiva, as the score indicates, scoring the first 18 points, and as they say, have not looked back since then. Score another deuce. That one to Anderson going off the glass.
Anderson on the layup.
So Wekiva, their next action will be tomorrow. This is the first of 2 games making up the Preseason Classic. As we are getting the foul.
Chi Wang is called on the block. That's her first personal foul, the team's first of the period.
Tomorrow night, Wekiva travels over to Lake Howell in Winter Park, up there on Dyke Road. That will complete the Preseason Classic. Then they begin the regular season in the Holiday Hoop Fest, November 24th against Wesley Chapel, November 25th against Clearwater. Both those games taking place at the Wiregrass Sports Complex. Which is located over in the Tampa, Clearwater, St. Pete area. So to get exact directions and location, of course, log on to their website. Again, that's the Wiregrass Sports Complex. In the meantime, Another opportunity for Wekiva. The slash and dash. Can't make the withdrawal. That's Hercule. One of 4 starters returning. Much different story than last season. Offensive rebound and a foul drawn.
Foul called against number 1, Baby Guevara. That's her 3rd personal foul. The team's first of the 4th quarter.
And so that will send
Mustangs ball at the baseline.
Okay,
and that was on the floor.
Free throws. No free throws. So also, if you are just joining us, we are in a running clock situation. 35-point difference as finding the range from 10 feet is Anderson.
Kayla Anderson.
Running clock situation, 35-point lead in the second quarter. Clock continues to run, so that's why
Chi Wang gets the steal with a little help from Miles. Not able to convert at the other end as it's swatted away by the Raiders, but the Mustangs will stay in control, up 60-12 here with 5.5 to go in the 4th quarter. Again, as Neil mentioned earlier, this game doesn't count. Both of these teams are going to walk away from this game with a 0-0 record, but it does give each of the coaches an opportunity, without any real stakes on the line, to get a pulse of where they are and where they need to improve.
Yeah, first opportunity, see what you can do against a live opponent as we approach 5 minutes. And, of course, as I've been saying more and more as this game has progressed, for Wekiva, a much better feeling than last year, getting that first win out of the way. That certainly takes some pressure off moving forward.
Yeah, and I mean, it'll be interesting to see as we get into some of these tournaments that Wekiva is participating in early in the season, and as we get into the home schedule and see some formidable contenders that are typical, playoff names in the hunt, to see how Wekiva performs against, an elite program, which is not to say that the Raiders can't get there, but obviously they have some things that they need to work on between now and the end of the season. But it'll be interesting to see as Wekiva, faces a variety of opponents, how they stack up, especially compared to last season, which was certainly a rebuilding year for the program, which prior to that, under the leadership of Tommy Butts, had been it was almost a surprise if you didn't see them in the state finals.
Yeah, an unparalleled run of success, certainly here at Wekiva. Only a couple of other programs at the top of my head that I can imagine. Miami, of course, went to 5 straight state championships. They didn't win any of them, but they did go. And then American Heritage, they also went to 5 straight finals. Of course, Wekiva, during that run under Coach Butts, 10 seasons, 8 state finals, 6 finals, and a couple of state championships last year. First year under Coach Middleton, the program dropped to just 2 wins. So, again, that's why I've been saying certainly a much better start than last season. Not only taking the pressure off when you look at this season individually or alone and moving forward in the 2023-24 season, but also in comparison to last season.
All right, I think we finally figured out which 10 players we want on the court. And turns out Paris Blackwood was a good choice as she picks up the steal there. And now Kayla Anderson has a little bit too much afterburner turned on.
Also, I want to take this opportunity as we get close to the end of the game. Thank you and give a shout-out and acknowledgement to the broadcasting production students. Of course, Mark Washington, the director now. They do handle all the video aspects of this program, including camera operation, as well as making sure we remain with the equipment we need. And, of course, we could do an audio broadcast, but, again, they handle the video aspects, so you would not be able to see what's going on without their contributions. As that ball slides off, give the rebound to South Sumter. Williams ripping that loose ball away. South Sumter go back to work. And now one-on-one, that's Pigwell and Rosado battling out. Rosado committing the foul as we drop under 2 minutes remaining.
Destiny Rosado called on her first personal foul, the team's second of the period.
Inbound from 10 feet, short. Rosado making up for that foul, ripping the rebound down, and possession will remain with Wekiva. So cheerleaders in midseason form. They are to the right of your station. on the right side of your screen. Stop, pop, no drop, hit the side of the net. Doing the Windex work, though. Nice soft touch by Miles on the...
That's Julissa Miles on the putback.
So, of course, tomorrow, tune in. Wekiva boys get their season starting. They'll be looking to return to the state Final Four.
And, of course, we'll have the Apopka game before that. Apopka Jones at 6. Wekiva East River at 7:30. Then on Thursday, we'll switch up the opponents. We'll have Apopka East River at 6 and Wekiva Jones at 7:30. So we hope you'll join us for all of those games as well, coming up Tuesday and Thursday right here on Wekiva Sports on YouTube.
So thank you again for joining us on this Monday night. Neil Fisher, Mark Barchi. And it's going to be an easy victory for Wekiva once again. Certainly a much better start than last season. Takes a lot of pressure off, and life will be a lot easier. Much easier to practice tomorrow and the rest of the week with that opening game victory. Wekiva running off to an 18-0 lead.
Mustang basket by Julissa Miles.
Getting off to a tremendous start, and as they say, never look back. The difference, if you were looking at two statistics, turnovers and rebounds, Wekiva converting on a number of the turnovers at more than 70%, as well as on offensive rebounds. A 3-1 advantage at halftime in both of those, and certainly
foul called against Ashley Penwell. That's her first, the team's second. That would be a shooting foul, but as we are in a running clock situation, we will not get to those free throws at the line. That takes us to the end of the ball game. 64-12, the final score here at the Preseason Classic.
And so turnovers and offensive rebounds being your difference on the statistics. Mark, opening victory, take us to the finish line.
We'd like to thank everyone for coming out tonight here at Mustang Arena to support your Raider and Mustang athletes. Thanks also to those of you who tuned in on YouTube or the NFHS network. We hope that you will join us tomorrow night. We have more action here at Wekiva. We will have Apopka versus Jones at 6, Wekiva versus East River at 7:30 for the boys preseason classic. Then we'll do it again Thursday night, but switch the opponents up. It'll be Apopka East River at 6 and Wekiva Jones at 7:30. Those will be broadcast as well on YouTube and the NFHS network. As for the girls basketball team, they are going to be on the road tomorrow at Lake Howell as they continue and wrap up their preseason classic. Once again, thanks for supporting your Mustang and Raider athletes tonight. For those of you here in the arena, please drive carefully and arrive home safely. Those of you watching online, thanks so much for tuning in. For Neil Fisher, this is Mark Barchi, the voice of the Mustangs, wishing you a great night.